Now how could something full of death, decay and destruction be beautiful? Well, the next game is one that is so huge and so compelling and so full of freedom that the actor Matthew Perry had to have injections in his hands because he played it so much. True story. Well, yes, that game is, of course, Bethesda's 2008 huge title, Fallout 3. In my first playthrough of Fallout 3, I was a little disappointed. At first not liking RPGs in the first place, and the appearance of the game, I couldn't figure out what all the fuss was about. Then I slowed things down. I stopped running, started walking from location to location, and I became infatuated with this game. I found it to be one of the most deepest and most compelling games I've ever played. And the more I scoured this post-apocalyptic world, the more this game drew raw emotion from me. Now, it's not easy trying to explain all the freedom and all the cool things in this huge game from Bethesda, but I'm going to have to try, so here we go. As an RPG, Fallout 3 has all the elements you'll find in a good RPG, but it's setting in a post-apocalyptic world that can surprise and shock like no other. It's filled with tons of enemies and mad people doing terrible things, and you'll find that there's a real dark and ominous mood to this game. Now, you'll start off with a couple of quick tutorials inside the vault, which is a bomb shelter that people have survived in by abiding to the one rule: no one gets in, no one gets out. But of course, after an accident caused by your father, who is voiced by Liam Neeson, you're forced to live in a journey outside the wasteland. I mean, it's a really cool intro to this game. It's filled with small tutorials and a unique way to customize your character, and it truly makes that first glimpse of the capital wasteland look huge, as you'll be wandering around a lot. Fallout 3 looks incredibly good. Mind you, it's a world with burnt buildings, crippled lands, no trees, and freaky, scary monsters and characters, but Bethesda have done a creatively great job at making it all look menacing, cool, and beautiful. Explosions look great, especially in the VATS moment of the game, where you can slow down time and accurately pinpoint where you'd like to attack your enemy. It's awesome. It provides cool little angles of executions and can make a shotgun to the face look so damn cool. There are no real bright colours in this game, and that kind of helps the feel of gloom and doom in the game. And the map is so big that you can see enemies from afar, which is cool when you can see little battles appearing, and when you just want to choose to avoid a battle completely. A bump in the visuals, however, is the slightly robotic movement of the characters. I mean, facial expressions and lip syncing is alright, but your character moves very stiffly and kind of glides across the land at times, which can detract from the experience of the game. Now, the atmosphere, which is what I've mentioned, is captured greatly by the use of sound. With a very light and thumping music, it proves that less is more with the soundtrack. It's simple and creates a great mood to the game, as well as a couple of good 50s style songs you'll hear through the radio on your Pip-Boy, or sounds from every kind of thing that is bumped or knocked over. It all sounds spot on, and with Liam Neeson and Malcolm McDowell, the voice acting is absolutely superb. Okay, let's start off with your Pip-Boy now. It displays information about the wasteland, quests, your character, and your health, and it's kind of like a main menu, and you'll be referring to it a lot. Now, as you travel the wasteland, you can choose to do pretty much whatever you want. I mean, this game has the ultimate sense of freedom. You can kill important characters, tell people to bite it, explore and steal from helpless citizens, but if you do so, you'll affect your character's karma. So making him do evil things will bring bad karma, which makes other characters react to you differently. Now, it's a joy in meeting and talking to all these smartly created characters in the game, with a range of different talking options. Sometimes they just seem ridiculous, and some are just plain hilarious. Now, as you do this, you'll gain experience points, which can level you up, and each time you reach a different level, you can choose to upgrade your character's abilities, as well as choose from several perks. Now, in order to stop your character from being too awesome, the game has a cap at level 20, which has been created so it can keep, offering a challenging game, which is pretty cool. With this huge world to explore, the more you'll discover and the more quests you'll get yourself into. Now, these quests are very intricate with plenty of twists and hard decisions to be made. So it's quite addictive and very provoking. You'll constantly be scraping around for money, scraps, sometimes murder is the only option just to be able to survive. And the places are littered with booby traps and monsters. I mean, the way this game turns you into a bum is quite magnificent. I feel like I've done a disservice to this game. I mean, there are so many cool moments that I myself have experienced, it's just hard to mention them all. Just know that this game is huge. It will take about 30 to 40 hours to complete, and I've finished it 3 times. It's the best RPG I've ever played. Sure, it has some of the most glitches and freezes in gaming history, and the characters have no swagger or style, but it still managed to achieve so much. Now look out for its sequel arriving October 22nd. I have my doubts that it can surpass this overwhelmingly huge title, but it still rests as one of the greatest games out there right now.